Now look how amazing they look. Fast forward, so September, October, and now we're into November. Hey guys, it's Brijette with Sandy Seed Company, and today we are doing a very special video. It's one of our Garden Revisited videos where basically we go back and we look at a cool old video from like 2020, 2021, which seems forever ago, and answer your questions about that video so that we can make even better content for you. The way we look at it is if you commented with these questions, other people are definitely thinking it. So let's answer those questions and make you the best gardener possible. Now this particular video is gonna be about carrots, which is my love crop. I love carrots. I love planting them, I love growing them, I love doing seed production of them. They're so much fun, and I think the reason why is because they were really hard to do in the beginning. It took a lot of education and practice to be really good at it. Now luckily for you, we're gonna watch this quick clip and you can see the basics on how to grow carrots, and then I'll get into your questions and make you even better at growing them by clarifying a few points. Carrots are a very humbling crop, and sometimes it can be really hard to get them started, especially if you're in zones 9 and 10 and you have really hot, dry falls, which we do. So what are some of the secrets that we've learned over more than a decade of growing in zones 9 and 10? Well, here's some tips. First, it's really important that you sow your carrots into nice, soft soil. So I've got a nice carrot bed here, and I've just topped it off with some really good G&B organic soil. It's nice and soft and fluffy, and that's what I want. I want to create a nice, soft seed bed so that I can plant my carrots into them. Another reason why you want to top it off with some good soil, it could be finely sifted compost. You just want something light and fluffy that the seeds can easily stick to. Because I'm going to show you a little trick on how to plant them where we actually don't even cover them with soil. I want to flatten my soil out so that I have a nice even area for the seeds to sit on, okay? And that's because when we water them, we don't want the seeds to go everywhere. It's easy to wash the carrots away, wash them under too much soil, things like that. The next thing that I want you to remember is that carrot seed doesn't like to get too hot. In temperatures above 80, they're really gonna germinate sporadically, slowly, so you wanna keep them cooler. Well, in our hot, dry climate, our little secret is row cover. So this light cloth here is white, so it's reflective. It's gonna reflect the sunlight off of the carrots. It's gonna hold in moisture. It's also gonna help us keep off a little bit of the pests and the insects that are gonna try to attack it. So after we sow the carrots and after they germinated, we actually cover it with this row cover. You can see that all three of these beds here, where I've got several successions of carrot sowings, have been covered with this cloth, which make it really nice. Carrots and all seeds require ample moisture to germinate, and so if I sow seeds into this soil that's really dry and lightly water, I'm not gonna get good germination. So let's actually deep water this bed real quick. All right, so I'm gonna water with this really nice watering system. This is a Dram hose adapter, and you'll see it just gives me a nice rainfall-like effect, and I'm just really gonna water this really well. Now, what I would recommend if you're at home doing this is actually water a couple hours or maybe even a day before you plant your carrot seeds. That way the water has time to soak all the way through and you can water several times if needed. So I have this beautiful seed bed ready. Now let's actually plant some seeds. So I've got some carrot seeds here. And what I'm gonna do is I am actually just going to sprinkle these carrot seeds right on top of my bed. I'm doing this because I can see where I've put the seeds. I can more or less try to spread them out evenly. Not a big deal. I'm gonna teach you guys how to thin your carrots as well. But you can see the seeds sitting on top, which is nice. It allows me to know where I've planted it. Now, this is really high quality seed, so that's probably enough. If you've got seed that's not as good or a little bit older, you can actually plant them even more closely together. You can sow them thicker and then thin afterwards. But I know these are all gonna sprout, so we're just gonna plant that much. Next, I have vermiculite, okay? Vermiculite is a product that's commonly used in gardening practices and greenhouse mixes and things like that. The reason why we use this is it's super light. It's also a great contrasting color, so I can see where I put it. And it's going to keep the carrots moist, but it's also going to allow them to germinate really quickly. When we use this method, on average, our carrot seeds will sprout twice as fast as when we cover it with regular soil. The last trick for our seed starting is we're actually gonna cover this with a piece of plywood. You can use burlap if you want. You could even just use this row cover. But the point of covering the seed is so that it stays dark and moist the whole time so that it can germinate. So I just have a piece of scrap lumber here, and I'm just gonna set it, look at that, it fits almost perfectly. I'm gonna set it right on top. We will leave this on there, and I'm gonna check this in about 2 days. I'll check it every day or so. And the moment that I see one little sprout pop up, I'm actually gonna pull this off, because that sprout has indicated to me that the others are very quickly going to sprout right behind it. I'll pull this off when they have germinated, and I will cover it with my row cover here, and that's it. In a few days, they will all germinate, and you will be amazed. You will get beautiful rows of carrots just like this. You can see these were actually sown about 4 weeks ago, and you can see how thick I did them. I got a little carried away. So let's talk about with these guys what you would do to thin them. A very easy way to go in and thin them is to simply, I'm using my hand very lightly, and I'm just plucking out a few of them at a time. This is a really easy process. You don't have to be perfect. There's a weed in there, get that out. And the reason why I do it like this is because I'm pulling out the ones that have just germinated, so they germinated slower than the other ones, so they're not nearly as healthy, and they, they're just not as vigorous, so I want them out. We do this every week or two, and then what'll happen is, after a while, I'll notice that I have a good spacing, and I'll leave them in. As the carrots get big enough to eat, I'll actually go in and thin the carrots and eat the ones that I pull out. And I actually have some carrots in another part of the garden that I'll show you exactly what that looks like. Now look how amazing they look. Fast forward, so September, October, and now we're into November. Now, I've gone through and I've thinned these a little bit, but I wanna show you what I mean by thinning and eating. So we've got a nice little row of carrots here, and they're much too close together. So I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna thin them, and what I can do is I can actually pull out this little guy, and I'm gonna eat this. I'm gonna take this inside and give it a little bit of a rinse, or not. Crunchy, but delicious. And this is not gonna get wasted. So what I'm doing is I'm thinning them, utilizing that crop, and allowing for more space so that the other ones can get a little bit bigger. All right, so now that you saw that video outlining how you grow carrots, I just wanna mention the other reason why we're doing these cool videos is, it's not that I love beer, I do like beer. I'm gonna have another baby, so these videos are allowing me to shoot some content for you so that you can be supported in your fall growing this year while I'm cuddling with baby number 2. So we appreciate you guys tuning in, and we hope that this content is really helpful for you, especially when it comes to growing carrots. So you know all the pro tips. We have that video, and then we have other videos. We have a 3-part video that we'll link in the description of this that you can check out so that you know really how to grow carrots. Now, some of the common questions we got are ones that I get in classes, I get on the farm, we get all the time. So I know a lot of you are thinking them. Now, one person actually asked, do you remove the row cover after they germinate? Really good question. Now, we actually, funny enough, prior to this video, shot a video all about row cover and shade cloth because it's obviously a hot topic. So the row cover you're gonna put down to hold in humidity, right? To help germination. You can actually leave this on if you want for almost all of the life of the carrot. It kind of depends on your area and the practicality of leaving it on. In my garden, I don't leave it on all season, and I'll tell you why. because I want to see my plants. I don't want to just see white fabric in the garden. I want to actually see the little green, beautiful tops growing. This fabric is light enough that it is going to let through sunlight, and so they can sustainably grow underneath this fabric all season long. The other reason why I take it down is my cats love to jump on it, and then they end up ripping it, or I end up tripping on it. So I only leave it on for probably the first couple weeks as the plants are getting established, and then I actually pull it off. It really comes down to a preference for you. Now, you did mention in that comment, you said, assuming it's not really hot out. You can use this fabric even if it's hot or if it's cool. The biggest thing it's going to do is hold in humidity, which is going to help the plants grow. Now, our channel is for zone 9 and 10, and that covers all the way to Florida. So if you're in Florida, humidity is not your concern. In fact, you got too much humidity. So you would take this off because it really is going to serve no benefit to you. So hopefully that's a good clarification on that question. The next one I have is a question about, in the video I talk about using plywood as a way to basically, you're mimicking what this fabric would do. You're holding in humidity, you're blocking out sunlight so that the seeds can germinate quickly and easily. And what happens when you do that is you get a mass of roly-polies under there, which is absolutely the truth. That will happen. I think I mentioned it in the video, maybe I didn't, but there's an easy fix for that. Anytime you are direct sowing, really any seeds, but particularly carrot seeds, you want to use Sluggo Plus. You pre-treat with the granular Sluggo Plus, which is going to help reduce the population of earwigs, slugs, roly-polies, and other crawling insects that can take down your plants as they're germinating. It's organic, it's safe to use in gardens with kids, with pets, even chickens is fine. And the thing that is really great about it is you really just use it at the beginning of the plant's growth. Eventually the plant will get big enough that you don't need to use it again. So let me clarify too. So you have to take the board off for the plants to continue to grow because they need sunlight, right? And those roly-polies were already in your garden, I promise. You didn't just like invite them there from a different neighborhood. They were there, it was just a dark, cool place for them to hide. Once you take that board off, their home is gone. So you will see a reduction in population right away as it is. But still, pre-treating with the Sluggo Plus is a good professional way to ensure you get lots of germination of your carrot seed. And now, so this is also something I want to mention because my videographer brought it up and it's hilarious. So in this video, this is what's great. You go back and you watch a video from all these years ago and then you kind of chuckle at some of the things you did. When I plant carrot seeds in my video, I put a lot of carrot seed down. And you know, it's because I own a seed company and I've got lots of packs of seeds. You guys probably are not going to sow as heavily as I do in the videos. And that's good because you have to thin your seedlings, which is a perfect segue into the last question about thinning carrot seeds. Now, when we do our farming and gardening masterclasses, we always include a section on how to grow carrots and how to thin them. And the reason being is it's like one of the hardest things for people to do. I know when you pull the little carrot seedling up, you can hear it screaming and crying and you just feel like a carrot murderer and you just feel terrible. But it has to be done because any carrot seedlings that are grown too close together are never going to form really good independent roots, which is what you want. So you have several choices. You either can be very meticulous about the way that you sow your seeds in the beginning, and you're still gonna have to thin, but you'll have to thin less. You know, if I have a row of soil that I'm planting my carrot seedlings and I sow really heavy, it's easier in the front end in that I can just quickly throw the pack down, but then I have more work on the back end to thin those. If you take your time and you sow very carefully, it's not going to be as hard to thin. Now, when we shot this video, we didn't actually sell pelleted carrot seeds. We now sell pelleted carrot seeds, which takes all of this work out of the way because each individual seed is actually coated with a layer of just organic clay that makes handling it so much easier. So especially if you're planting in gardens with kids, it's really great because you can hand them. It looks like a bunch of like nerds. I mean, don't let them eat it, obviously, but you know, it's about the size of little pieces of candy and you can stick them in the soil at almost the perfect spacing and you will likely have little to no thinning to actually do. All right, so if you're a grower in zone 9 and 10, we would love it if you liked and subscribed to our channel so that we can keep growing together. Let's look at some pelleted carrot seed varieties that we have here. So we sell all kinds of carrot varieties. We got a lot because they're such a great crop, but we also have some really cool pelleted varieties in particular. So Miami is a really great heat tolerant variety that's awesome for zone 9 and 10. And real quickly, let's just look at the seeds so I can show you. This is what they look like. So it's very easy to actually take individual ones and plant them at the perfect spacing. So even though they're a tad bit more expensive than regular carrot seeds, it's going to be less work, which means more carrots in the long run, and everybody loves that.